Ryan Oliver presents Haunting Tales of Madness!
Lady Lavender, written by Brian Oliver, narrated by Vark Papa. I'm not here to tell you that I was given a bad stroke of luck in life. I made my choices. I'm fully accepting of that, but this situation is bullshit. I don't think anyone should ever wake up tied to a chair with their last memory being of a beautiful woman promising them a night of something a little more enticing. I don't mean that I mind being tied up, quite the opposite, but this is not ideal. I have a pounding headache and I know she must have drugged me. The lights are too low to really make out the room. Maybe I can piece together how I got here. I can hear her on the other side of the door. Okay, let me try and back this train up. I was at the bar. Why was I at the bar? I normally drink at home to save money. It's all a little fuzzy from the Mickey she must have slipped me. Think, Jerry, think. There she is. Oh God, now I recognize her. She's dressed to the nines. Her skirt is a light purple, her blouse white. She has a jacket on to match the skirt and a small hat atop her head. Also happens to be light purple. Lavender. A lavender outfit like a woman might wear from the 40s or 50s. I'm in big trouble. Big fucking trouble. Lady Lavender is a local legend in our city. A real lunatic. She's a man-hater from what I've heard, and the men she sinks her claws into are rarely heard from again. Only a couple of guys have gotten away from her. They both described her as I'm seeing her now. Not only her attire, but her look. She has the longest black hair I've ever seen on a woman. She also has a kind smile that hides something darker. Her visage is that of one who is both professional and classy. Every stitch of her clothing is in the right place. It was her last night. But she wasn't wearing what she's wearing now. Last night, her hair was pulled up, and she was dressed more casually. God, it's so foggy in my head right now. I remember sitting at a back table. I had a envelope. I can't recall what it said, but I know it made me mad. I can't remember why just yet. I was sitting at the table when she walked over. She seemed very comfortable and confident. She sat next to me and placed her hand on my lap. She whispered something as her hand booted up my leg. I can remember the warm feeling of her breath just along my ear and neck. Her hand moved towards my manhood with serious intent. Before I knew it, we were in a stall at the back of the bar. She was straddling me. Her lips caressed mine and moved back and forth along my neck. Her hand reached down and began to squeeze and stroke me over my trousers. Naturally, I rocked against her and ran my hands under her skirt. She breathed heavily and then whispered something into my ear. Then it all went black. Now I'm tied to this fucking chair. You got the wrong guy, bitch. You best let me go before you do something you can't undo. Her smile looks less enticing now. Now she looks almost cruel. Her eyes are filled with passion, but not the kind that a man looks forward to. This is the kind of passion men see right before their partners bury the hatchet for infidelity. This is the look that says, I'm more prepared for this than you, and I'm gonna watch you die. Listen, lady, you seriously need to rethink whatever the fuck you have planned here. Shut up. Her voice is sharper than a knife. She just smacked me on the head while sliding me over to a desk. It looks like she's going over to a wall now. She's using the dimmer switch to brighten up the room. There's a filing cabinet, concrete flooring, a vanity, and a mirror with makeup and brushes on it. It reminds me of what you would see in the makeup room backstage at a theater. She picks up a perfume bottle with a little rubber atomizer. One squeeze to each side of her neck, and I can see the overspray in front of the vanity lights around the mirror. I can see her smile staying perfectly in place as she pulls her chair from the vanity and sits across from me at the desk. She opens a small file and starts to place pictures in front of me. It took me a while to track you down, Jerry. You've been a very busy boy. What are you talking about? I haven't done anything to you. I sneeze, and she keeps her grin. Her perfume is strong and gives my nose the go-ahead to expel a bombardment of sneezes. If you're quite finished, I suggest you look at your handiwork. The photos are gruesome. Skinned men and women in pools of blood. One shows a man hung from the trees from his own intestines. When I turn my head to look away, she reaches over and grabs me by the face. You will not turn away from this. I'm sorry, but you have to see it. Struggling, I realize just how much power she has in her upper body. I relent as she continues to lay out the photos. Decapitation. A young woman dismembered. Several animals chopped up. All of it disgusting and horrifying. The last photo she lays down is too much to describe. It just makes me throw up. I try to wriggle away, but there's no use. Lady Lavender gives me a glare that I can feel in my bones. You act like this disgusts you. I know in part that is true. I didn't do it. I swear, you have to believe me. The evidence points to the contrary. What are you gonna do? Jerry, all you need to know is that you won't be leaving here alive. You have lived a life of violence, and for that, you must pay the price. I don't doubt that this is shocking to you. I swear, I didn't do this. How can I prove it to you? I have your DNA, Jerry. You were there. If it makes you feel any better, you should know you will not suffer as much as these poor souls suffered. You did this, but it's no surprise that you don't remember. What? How long have you had trouble with losing time, Jerry? Think about it. How many blackouts have you had in the recent months? Blackouts? Yes, Jerry. Blackouts. The kind of blackouts you can't explain. Losing hours at a time. That is why you get a clean death, Jerry. I can't have you, or, well, the other you, out there free. I had to show you why. You don't remember the kills because you are dormant when it happens. That is when the other you comes out to play. By play, I mean kill, maim, in some cases, worse things. She snaps her fingers, and a man in a black suit comes through the door and brings her a laptop. She opens it and brings up a video. The man in the video looks exactly like me. In the video, he's waiting near an alleyway. As a young man walks by, I could see myself grabbing the man from behind and pulling him into the darkness of the alley. The video shows pedestrians passing by, but they seem to be not aware at all of what's happening in the alley. The video is too dark to show what's going on. The area is starting to look familiar, but I swear I don't recall what I'm seeing. Moments later, I could see myself leaving the alley. I put my hands on the wall and start to shake while rocking back and forth. After a moment, the shaking stops. My stance is different now. I look around, somewhat confused, and then I begin to walk down the street. I remember the walk home. I look to Lady Lavender with worry on my face. She looks at me with a serious smile and I sneeze again, and the sneezing quickly turns to a coughing fit. She backs away so that her lavender outfit doesn't get stained. I cough again, and a large amount of blood leaves my mouth. I look to her in shock, confusion, and pain. It was in the perfume, darling. You've been dying since I sprayed it. I know this doesn't seem fair, but part of you is a monster. If I could just remove the darkness, I could have let you live. But a man as crazy as you has no reason to continue to walk this mortal coil. Lady Lavender walks over to her vanity mirror and checks her clothing to make sure she's still pristine. She is indeed. I cough more and I can feel my throat filling with blood. She watches me through the mirror. Things are getting dark again. I'm scared that this time I won't wake up. Last thing I see is Lady Lavender watching me in the mirror. She has a bit of sadness in her eyes. There's something else there too. I can feel the other guy inside me. He's cursing her for what she's doing. I can hear him as well as I can hear my own coughs. Lady Lavender was right. I need to be dealt with. I just hope the other guy doesn't get inside anyone else.